Welcome to the first episode of the Anime Mystics podcast. I'm Roman.
My name is Steven, but you can call me Sonosuke-sama.
I had mentioned before on the Discord that I was working on another project. This is what that was, and hopefully this becomes a popular thing amongst all of the viewers on the channel. So I think first we should just introduce ourselves for those who have just discovered who we are based off of this.
Sure.
So do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Oh, you go first.
You go first?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so as I said, my name is Roman. I've been running the Anime Mystics YouTube channel along with my cousin Belle for the last maybe 2 years. I've been watching anime since I was like 12, starting with Dragon Ball Z, also Urusei Yatsura, surprisingly, when they showed that on the public broadcasting station. That was surprising for me that they had an anime section, but started with that, plus Akira, Fist of the North Star movies, and
The regulars.
Let's see. So I've been watching anime since I was 12. I'm 34 now. So 22 years. So the only thing is, don't expect me to know like voice actors or anything like that. I don't really know voice actors too well. That's more Steven's.
Yeah, I'll cover you on that end.
Steven's area.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for now.
Okay. Well, like I said, my name is Steven. I go by Sonosuke-sama, and yes, that's from Rurouni Kenshin. That's also my gamer handle, so if you're looking me up on PlayStation Network or Xbox, that's where you'll find me. I think I can go back as far as pretty much middle school, I think. I mean, even when I was younger, I started, with the Dragon Ball and Ronin Warriors, all that stuff that was on Coffee Channel 20 for us out here in the East Bay. But then when I got into middle school, I discovered Ranma and got more hardcore into like the Sailor Moon stuff. And when I hit high school, that's when it just kind of exploded when I joined the anime club, and everything just kind of came in like a tidal wave. Evangelion, more Ranma, more Tenchi, more Bubblegum Crisis, all Rurouni Kenshin, of course. I took the name because that's actually one of my most favorite series of all time. Probably Rurouni Kenshin and Fist of the North Star. Those are probably my two top shows of all time to date. But yeah, I've haven't really stopped. Just kind of delved more into it. Just kind of rolled with it. Followed more like into the video games and stuff like that. But we'll definitely go over that as we talk about some of the stuff, at least in this podcast and future podcasts, about the anime, video games, conventions, whatnot. But I just want to say that it's a pleasure to meet everyone listening to this. Thank you for your time, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy yourselves. Yeah, let's get into it, I guess.
Yeah. So for this first episode, we're basically just going to talk about this current anime season, some of the anime from last season. Steven's going to, or Sonosuke-sama, whatever. What do you want me to call you?
You can just call me Sana. Just
Sana?
like that, yeah.
Okay.
Mainstream it.
Sana is going to talk about the cons that he's been to this year, and we'll get into some video game talk.
Sounds good.
So, do you want to go into last season first? Because, I mean, we
can start with last season. Sure.
You want to start with last season?
Sure.
Okay.
About a month ago.
Yeah, about a month ago. So what did you watch last season?
So, I feel that I was along with most of the other people by watching Boku Hero no Academia, which, given that it just made like $5 million in the theaters, which was pretty big for an anime movie in America, I definitely was watching that along with practically everyone else. But surprisingly, I was watching Dropkick on My Devil, which is with Joshin and all of them.
Joshin-chan.
Yes. I watched another carryover, Gegege no Kitaro, which caught me off guard. I didn't know about it, but apparently it's another remake from Toei Studios, and I feel that they've been on a roll remaking a lot of their shows, because they made Sailor Moon Crystal, and then they made Tiger Mask W, which I was watching last year, and it carried over into the beginning of this year. So I started with Gegege no Kitaro, which has, I think they said it's like season 8 or 9, and they've been doing it since like the 60s. Like if you Google it, you can see that it was done black and white. It's been around and remade. So that was a pretty fun one. And then I also watched the badminton anime Hanebado, which was another one I never thought I would ever see, but it had really good animation to it. And if anyone's seen any GIFs or any of those images floating around, it was shockingly really well animated. And then, of course, I was watching the Harukana no Receive, not only because fan service, but it was the summer season. So, like the meme says, you don't need to make one beach episode when every episode is a beach episode. But it shockingly also had decent animation, too. I liked how they did all the dramatic slowdowns that are pretty common to sports anime to make it more hype than it really is. But, it was as close to volleyball as I'll get outside of Dead or Alive Extreme. So, I'm sure I'm missing some other ones that'll probably pop into my mind at random times. But I think that's the short list, at least, for what I did last season.
Okay. Last season was summer, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. I'm just making sure I wrote down the right stuff.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
So last season, I watched Grand Blue, scuba diving.
Yeah.
A really good animation. I really liked a lot of the facial expressions they made in that. They were really funny. Obviously, Asobi Asobase.
Yes.
Which was actually a late pickup for me.
Okay.
I did not originally start watching that. I was recommended by a few of my viewers that I should pick it up. And I had dropped a few shows. So I was like, fine, okay, I'll pick it up.
Good call.
And, it was definitely a good call. That was one of my favorites that season. Yuragi Sono Unisan.
Okay.
Very fan servicey, but still, I thought was really good.
Yeah.
A lot of different waifus to choose from.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mine didn't show up till maybe halfway through, but still really good. High Score Girl. Basically all CG. I think one of the few I'd seen that was all CG. And definitely my favorite as far as story. Had a very good story, really good characters. The CG was... It sometimes looked a little wonky, but did not take you out of the anime.
Right.
Like, in fact, I think it actually added to the way the story was told. I don't know if anybody even really watched this one. Muyo and Ryoji's Bureau of Supernatural Investigations.
I think I might have had a friend who saw that, but I didn't personally watch it.
I know I didn't get a lot of views, but
Yeah.
those who did watch it, I think, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Because I would get some comments saying that, oh, man, I'm surprised you're even watching this.
Yeah, that was under a lot of radars.
And at first, it just seemed like an anime that was going to be like a Spirit of the Week type of thing. Like every week they just battle another spirit and all that. But then, like after episode 3, it picked up into a story.
Right.
And that's when it actually started getting really good.
Yeah.
And surprised me as far as how it went. So I'm hoping for a second season on that one. But I don't know how well it did. So
Yeah.
well, we'll see.
Yeah.
But that's everything I watched the last season. That's not counting Boku no Hero.
Of course.
I mean, obviously I was watching that.
Yeah. I think the general consensus is either you hate it and you're not watching it, or you're just one of the mob that is just all engrossed in it.
Yeah.
And I'm as excited as much as I am fearful for Boku Hero, because the Shonen Jump series, we've seen it with Naruto, we've seen it with Bleach, not so much with One Piece. One Piece has been consistently strong.
Yeah.
But the other two, Naruto and Bleach, you saw them falter at times. Like, they started off really strong, everyone loved them in the beginning, it was new, it was fresh, but then kind of towards the middle, they just kind of petered. Like, people just stopped, and maybe it was burnout, maybe it was the villains were almost the same, or they were just slightly upgraded versions of past villains, or maybe it was just because the villains became allies, and so that was kind of like the end of their growth as characters.
They had hit their peak.
Yeah, or they just simply killed them off, because that was the end of the story arc.
Yeah.
But I'm just hoping that doesn't happen to Boku Hero, even though I've kind of mentally prepared myself that might happen with Boku Hero. Right now, I'm still head over heels into it, though. I'm still running strong. I caught up and finished the end of the season.
Yeah.
I called him Tintin, the big three. Tintin was kind of fun, though. I liked him.
I remember seeing like a meme for that where they showed the big three and they had the Tintin character dressed like Luffy.
Yes.
And the
yes.
female dressed like a Bleach character. And
Yes.
the other dude was obviously Sasuke.
Yes. Yes. And they also call him Pip-Boy from Fallout.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. That was it. So Tintin and Pip-Boy.
Oh, yeah, he does look like that guy, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even put that together.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, I'm still gonna follow it. Right now, I'm still not disenfranchised with Boku Hero, and I want it to succeed. I think it's really good. It has cross appeal. Everyone that's still watching it loves it, and you can see the love in the fans, the way they went to the movie theaters and watched it, and it was coming out at the same time as other heavy hitters like Venom, and they still went and saw it. So I think right now Boku Hero is going strong, and I think that they have a serious show with Boku Hero. I actually am glad you brought up Asobi Asobase, because that show it was great. It was marvelous.
Oh my
and
God.
it came out of nowhere and was like kind of the sleeper hit of the season. Because
Yeah.
if you saw it and you didn't laugh, I think you have no soul and you might be dead on the inside. You might have to see a doctor or an exorcist. But I mean, it was bloody fantastic. That show was great.
Yeah.
I can't say enough about that show. I think that you watch the opening for Asobi Asobase and you're like caught off guard. You're like, oh, it's just going to be a goofy slice of life. We're just
Moe anime.
We're going back to K-On! Days. And then you watch and you're like, oh my dear lord.
What am I watching?
Oh, Madokami, why? And then the ending credits hit you and you're like, oh man, this show completely knows what's going on.
That was one of my favorite endings.
Oh yeah,
Themes.
absolutely. Good choice. And Grand Blue. Now I've seen I think maybe 2 episodes of Grand Blue, and I know that it was on Amazon Prime. And so when I saw it, I had a friend who was just like, "That's the greatest thing." And they made the oolong tea drink. So there's a lot of drinking in this show.
There's a lot.
Briefly going into it, from what I've seen. And they had a tea or a drink that was like oolong tea and I think sake or something like that.
Yeah, I think they might have mixed the two.
Yeah, and it sounded fantastic. And of course, the internet took it and they made it into an actual drink. You can find the recipe if you look up the oolong tea Grand Blue Dreaming. Don't confuse it with Grand Blue Fantasy. You can find it online, and it's a drink that I wouldn't be surprised you'll see a lot of people like at conventions and cons. They're like, oh, it's our Grand Blue oolong tea. So yeah, I think at some point I'd like to go back and finish it for sure. But it seemed that people that watched it were in the know, absolutely loved it, and it felt like it was running gag humor. So if you've ever seen like Anchorman or those types of movies, it's kind of like those long running gag shows, movies. So
yeah,
I felt that that was a good
see
one.
That.
So
yeah, Grand Blue was pretty good. I wouldn't say I absolutely loved it,
right,
but it was good. I would recommend it for certain people.
Absolutely.
And there's definitely a lot of drinking.
Yeah.
The very first few minutes,
yeah,
you got a bunch of naked dudes drinking
yes,
in the scuba shop.
Yes, and they advertised it as it's a summer show with diving, and it's like there was practically no diving. I was like, this is a show about diving, right? It's like, no, it's a show about drinking and getting naked, apparently.
Yeah, I said that like 3 episodes and I was like, isn't this supposed to be about diving? I haven't seen any diving at all. It's like all drinking.
Yeah, it's all drinking and being manly.
I mean, they had a tennis episode before they had a diving episode.
Yes. It's fantastic.
Let's see. You didn't watch Chio-chan or nothing like that?
I did not.
Oh, no. Man. You should watch that one.
The Chio, is that the
That's
kitten?
Chio-chan School Road.
Okay.
Where it's I think it's the same voice actress who did Satania from Gabriel Dropout. And it's basically her adventures from going from home to school. And it's pretty random at times, too.
Yeah.
So it might hit some of those Asobi Asobase type of things, but not as crazy. But it is pretty hilarious.
See, Roman is mentioning Satania because he knows I love Satania to death. And given that we just showered so much praise on Asobi Asobase, he's really trying to sell it by mentioning those two things. So he's definitely working me right now. But good call. That's a good move. All right.
It's a good one. You should check it out.
All right.
And I would definitely recommend High Score Girl if you want
Yes.
something for just story.
I saw that briefly. I know that it did a lot of like Street Fighter and fighting game stuff.
Oh yeah, it focuses very heavily on like Capcom and it's like I think some Square Enix as
Okay.
well.
Okay.
But a lot of the older games, because it takes place in the 80s and 90s.
Ha.
So by the time the arcade craze was going on,
Yeah.
that's what it's covering.
Got it. Okay.
So anybody who's into fighting games or just wants a really good story, I would say check that out.
Definitely.
Okay, so this season, because unless you have any more you want to talk about for this last season.
Nope. Let's get into it. Let's do it.
Okay, so this season, what are you watching?
Oh man, you know it. Goblin Slayer.
Yeah.
Number one, I on my Facebook, I just shared an article from Crunchyroll. The number one anime in America, even Alaska and Hawaii, Goblin Slayer. They said the only thing that's beating Goblin Slayer would be the carryovers like Boku Hero, but their rules state it's not shows that are still ongoing, it's new shows that debuted this season.
Yeah.
And unrivaled Goblin Slayer.
Yeah, the
now,
entire map was
the
just
entire
an
yes,
image of Goblin Slayer.
just Goblin Slayer, and
I am so happy about that too.
yeah, I think it earns it. I don't typically read the mangas these days, mainly because I just don't have that much time. And I know everyone's going to be like, "What do you mean you don't have time?" I just don't. I'm lazy and I procrastinate a lot. I'm not sorry about that, but I read Goblin Slayer. I read the scanlations. I am buying them as they come out on Amazon. I have a couple of them pre-ordered. I don't have the light novels, although I did get the Tanya light novels and the manga.
Oh,
but for
okay.
Goblin Slayer, I'm focusing solely on the manga. And I don't do that a whole lot. But I read Goblin Slayer, the manga, and it came to my attention because when they first announced Goblin Slayer, the anime, there was a couple of the Facebook pages I follow. They started to kind of laugh and snicker. Like, they're like, oh man, this is going to be great. And I told myself, why is it that everyone is laughing? What's the big joke? What's going on? And so I did research. I went and I read the mangas online, and I was like, oh my,
This is why
okay,
they're snickering.
exactly. I was like, now I get it. But you know, it didn't. I think at this point everyone has pretty much seen the first episode and they got the shock value. But
Yeah.
I think you can kind of see it in the more recent episodes that it's definitely toned down. It's become more just a generic fantasy. You kind of re-zero. Not really Konosuba style, but more like Sword Art, that kind of fantasy trope things. The shock value of the first maybe couple episodes, it's kind of wearing out, and you're just kind of left with a more or less action fantasy show. And that was pretty much how it was in the manga, I feel.
Yeah.
The first kind of shock things were just there to hook you in, but once you get past that, it's just fantasy stuff. And it's a formula that, again, a lot of these isekais and fantasy shows have shown you have worked, so they've just kind of stuck to it. He makes a party, there's a bunch of waifus, they sling some magic spells around, you'll face a goblin, an orc, an ogre, whatever.
Here and there.
Yeah, you just kind of fill it in with fantasy tropes, and you know, the series has found success. And so I'm happy for it. I'm happy that I read the manga. I recommend anyone to read the manga, watch the show. Don't let all these
Social justice warriors.
yeah, these worry warts, you know, try to turn you away. Watch it, make your own call.
Yeah, you might not like the first episode because of the one scene that everybody seems to not like,
Yeah.
which was only like, what, 5 seconds?
And it was edited.
And it was edited.
And it was edited from what they did in the manga.
They didn't even really show much of anything, but
Right.
people still got up in arms over it.
Right.
And it was nothing.
Yeah, it was really nothing.
But don't let that deter you. Once you see it, you'll be like, okay.
Yeah.
You might be a little upset about it, but
Yeah.
just once you get past that,
Yeah.
you're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, and I think people also forget too that is the drive for the main character. It's not so much a shock value as much as it's trying to help you build a bridge to Goblin Slayer himself. It's supposed to help you understand why he is the way he is and his motivations. So if you do get upset or you do get angry, I hope that you actually end up sympathizing and empathizing with Goblin Slayer even more so. I think that he almost reminds me of Kenshiro in a way that he's so one-dimensional in his motivations, you can't even be mad at the guy. And that's normally a problem I have with a lot of Shonen Jump characters.
They're one-dimensional.
Yeah, they're just like, they have one-dimensional or no dimension. They're just like, they exist, and they always simply just overpower whatever challenges them because shenanigans. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't... It just loses its appeal. But for Goblin Slayer, he shows up, and he's literally... What he does is in his name. Slays goblins. That's it. And
Yeah.
it's both a motivation, a running joke, and everything that makes him cool, all in one. So yeah, I definitely think Goblin Slayer, and I want to go on record. This #1 podcast we are filming on this November 11th. Elf is best waifu. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Yeah, I think this is one of the few series we actually agree on
Oh,
the
yeah?
waifu.
Elf? Oh yeah? Excellent.
Elf is
Excellent.
definitely waifu on this one.
So I also, at this point, I want to say that if you agree or disagree, make sure you comment on this, and yeah, we'll discuss this.
Yeah.
But yeah,
there will be talks.
yes. But yeah, no, Goblin Slayer is fantastic, and absolutely check it out if you haven't done so.
Yeah. Is that all you're watching this season so far?
Oh no! Oh my goodness! I think I'm up to like 12 shows,
Oh, wow.
and about 5 of those I haven't even seen yet. I think my top 3 right now is after Goblin Slayer, Uzumade, and Zombieland Saga. Today actually is Sunday, the 11th November, and I shared from the top 10 trending list on Facebook that Uzumade actually broke into the top 10. And this is all user generated. I believe you go to a website and you just vote on the shows you're watching, and then it kind of populates it. It makes the chart and it ranks everything. Uzumade just broke into number 10, and I think we're like, what, week 5 or week 6 of this season?
Yeah.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
I think it's 6.
6?
I think it's 6.
So 6 weeks later, Uzumade finally broke into the top 10, and I couldn't be happier. It's the dumbest, greatest show you'll ever watch. Remember when you watched Kobayashi Dragon Maid?
Oh,
and
yeah.
and Toru was just obsessed with Kobayashi, but she was a dragon maid and all these gimmicks. Well, Uzumade introduces us to the military maid, and
The military pedophile maid.
correct. And she is fantastic because that's the joke. Yes, there's a lot of lowly things and creepy things, but you actually discover that Tsubame, the character, is actually pure in her intent. It's like, again, you're just like, oh man, this is kind of disgusting, and then you keep watching and you understand that, okay, maybe it's not as creepy as the jokes make it seem to be, but that's still the joke, is to make it seem creepier than it really is. But Tsubame is also like, I don't want to say indestructible, but she is fun. I think that what she doesn't give up, and I think that her strong will, while also being a genuinely good person, makes her appealing. And I would say overall, I think that Tsubame is probably my #1 waifu of the season. Again, I have a couple more shows I still need to watch, but as we stand right now on this day, I think Tsubame might be the best waifu overall of all the shows this season.
All right, yeah, we're disagreeing on that one.
That's fine. That's yeah.
I'm definitely going with the new character added in this week.
Oh, her commanding officer?
Yeah, the masochist.
Yes.
Then again, I think I've told you, Darkness is my favorite from Konosuba.
Oh, okay.
So
Makes
that
sense.
should be no surprise that I go towards the masochist.
Yeah, that makes sense. That absolutely makes sense.
Yeah, Uzumade has been a fun ride.
Yes.
I do get a little kind of weirded out by the lolly stuff.
That's fine.
But then I also find it satisfying when they show other lolly or pedophile people and they get arrested.
Yes, there's justice in this world. It's not we're just making lowly jokes and no one gets suffers consequences or anything. That also ties into the humor too. And again, it's just the same things that happened in Dragon Maid, the rejection, and then you learn that it's not just being creepy or weird. There is actually some heartfelt motivations behind the actions of the characters. I think that kind of helps you bridge the gap and connect with the characters. So it's like, yeah, it's funny, yeah, it's creepy, but yeah, it's also like, okay, I kind of get it.
Yeah, and well, I mean, Misha's trying to get rid of her.
Yeah,
All
absolutely.
she really has to do is just get older.
Yeah,
As soon as she hits her first period, she's gone.
That's right. That's right. It doesn't fly. Yeah, that's the deal breaker right there. You aged out.
Yeah, you're past my age limit, so I'm out of here.
Yeah, done with you. So,
and you said your other one is Zombieland Saga,
yo, man.
which I have not watched yet.
So, in a nutshell, I'm not super hardcore into Love Live. I watched the first season of Love Live. I saw the first season of Sunshine. And the rest of the Idol craze, I'm not too big into it. But Zombieland Saga, it takes the Idol thing and then introduces zombies. And so, right out the gate, you see what happened to the main character, Sakura, as she's just going on her way, and then she gets zombied. And so, the nutshell is that they become an idol group to save the prefecture of Saga, because idols always got to be saving something. And so, they form an idol, and then the characters all have different motivations and all of that. If you haven't seen it by now, the famous rap scene from the second episode.
I've seen so many memes.
Yes, yes. That's one of the things. They actually do different styles of music. Like, they do a rap scene, and then they do an actual pop kind of song. The first episode actually had them doing like death screamo metal.
Oh, really?
Death metal screamo. So it's not just pop idol music. No, they actually do touch on a couple different genres. To my knowledge, the voice actresses also do their own singing.
Cool.
So it's not like it's a substitute or anything like that. I believe they all do their own singing. And I think, again, this is another character-driven show where there's so many characters, you're bound to pick one that's your favorite. My roommate and I, we've been watching the show, and we've kind of fallen for Tai. I think we both like Tai. It's not I wouldn't say it's my favorite character, but Tai is just ridiculous. She's just absolutely absurd, and she's kind of like the running joke by what she does and how she carries herself. So I don't want to spoil it too much, but keep your eye on Tai. I think my number one character is definitely Saki. And Saki's gimmick is that she used to be part of a biker gang.
Okay.
She was the female lead of the biker gang before she got zombified. And she's still rough and tough, but she also has kind of a soft side. After Sakura kind of gains her respect, you kind of see Saki open up a lot more. So that's fun. I also enjoy Yugiri. Her gimmick was that she used to be a courtesan from, like, ancient Japan, like feudal era Japan, and so
she's old.
She is old, and they say that she came back into popularity because, like, they just picked it up. Like, it was, I guess they tried to stretch it or sell it as an old form of idol, because courtesans used to sing and dance and perform stages, all sorts of things,
right?
As well as being ladies of the night. So that's important because it's actually part of her character, because she actually makes jokes into her former life as a courtesan, and she'll like be doing something, and then she'll just be like, "Oh, this was a lot easier than in my former life," and it's all like when you were doing the horizontal bop with random Japanese dudes, random Japanese samurai. So Yugiri, though, she also becomes the big sister type, and so especially Saki, respects Yugiri and calls her Yugi or Yugiri Ne-chan, and so I just kind of was like, oh, that's kind of sweet. So I definitely recommend it. It's another absurd, ridiculous, crazy show. And then, of course, we can't without talking about producer San. He is absolutely absurd. He's such a but they kind of put him in his place, and that's kind of like he gets his just dues because they put him in his place. But that's a huge part of the running humor in the show, is watching his interaction with the girls and how they get back at him. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what happens. I'm not sure if there's a corresponding manga. I believe there is a manga coming out, if it's not out already. But I believe this is a completely original anime, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, I'm sure if I'm wrong, someone's definitely going to let me know. But yeah.
Yeah, it's been recommended to me by a few of our viewers. But it's already middle of the season. I don't want to pick up another show. So I'll probably wait until after I finish something.
Got it.
And add it in.
Got it.
But I have seen a lot of memes for this, especially for the rap episode. But yeah, those are the only three you've actually watched so far, right?
I mean, a couple other ones. Let's see, Golden Kamui, which is season 2. This one I liked, and I recommend it, especially if you were like a Rurouni Kenshin fan. I'm getting a lot of Kenshin vibes from it. This one actually takes place after the Russo Japan War, so this is about at the turn of the 1900s, right about that era.
Yeah, when they're introducing all the westernized
correct.
aspects to Japan.
Yeah. And this one takes place in the south of Japan, so in the Sapporo region. So this is kind of like different take because it's outside of Tokyo, Kyoto, most of the main name places most of these animes take place in.
Yeah, the big cities.
Yeah. This one takes place in the south, so it's an interesting setting. It started in the winter, but now they're approaching the springtime in the show. So I recommend it, especially if you were a Rurouni Kenshin kind of a person. Definitely check out Golden Kamui.
Yeah.
Ace Attorney is another one. I mean, I don't know what I can say about Ace Attorney at this point. It's come out on pretty much every handheld since the Game Boy Advance. If you go to Japan, it's out on DS, 3DS, iPhone, Amazon. The play that's coming out on PlayStation 4, the original trilogy of games.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's coming out on PlayStation.
I may have to get that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of my favorite franchises of all time. I mean, Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, fantastic. The anime is kind of like the watered-down synopsis of the games.
Okay.
So, if I would definitely recommend, obviously, playing the games. You get a lot more value and a lot more story out of it. But the anime is pretty faithful. It's pretty faithful. There are some things I think the anime does that the video game didn't do, but it's also like I feel the anime assumed you played the games, and it kind of remixes it in a way that you don't feel like you're wasting your time.
Right.
Like it's still fresh and original watching the anime, even if you've played the games.
Okay.
So
that's good.
I definitely recommend it. But if you're going to do the Ace Attorney, check out the games first. At least play the original trilogy, because I think we're up to like number 5 or 6 now. I think 6. We're on game 6 now. So at least play the original trilogy, and then check out the anime. Same deal. I'm watching Fist of the Blue Sky. Sorry, crossing them.
Crossing over.
I like I said earlier, I love Fist of the North Star. It's probably one of my favorite shows. At least my top 5 shows of all time. They're using that Berserk CG, and it's rough. It's so rough. It's like I'm just so happy that we're just getting more Fist of the Blue Sky, North Star, but that CG is kind of off-putting. But I'm dealing with it. What can I say, man? I love the franchise so much
that you're willing to put up with the bad CG.
Yeah. I skipped out on the game that came out from the Yakuza guys. That came out maybe last month. Yeah, and we'll talk about that later on when we get to the video game segment. But I mean, what can I say? It's Fist of the North Star, legendary. Gave us JoJo, gave us Dragon Ball Z, gave us so many Shonen Jump series and tropes, and it's fantastic. And it's just more the same. Kenshito's my boy through and through. And that actually ties in JoJo Part 5. What can we say about JoJo? 5 parts. 20 years, 30 years of the manga going on. If you don't know what a Dio Brando or an Ora is by now, you're probably living under a rock, or you're not on social media that much.
Oh, well, I'm good then. I know what it is.
Yeah? See? Are you actually following JoJo?
I am not.
Okay.
I do want to pick it up, though, but there's so many seasons that I figure I got to put it on its own day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I don't want to just pick up... People are telling me to pick up this season, but I'm like, I don't want to just pick up a later season. I want to get into the whole thing.
Yeah, right.
That way I get the whole lore and everything about what's going on.
True.
And I know some people tell me, you don't really need to watch the other ones to get it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's the case.
Yeah.
But still, I want to get the full experience.
Yeah. That's fair.
What did you think of the death battle between Kenshiro and the other guy?
So I think that,
I can't remember his name.
Oh yeah, with Kenshiro and Jotaro.
Yeah, Jotaro.
So they did 2 of them. They did one like a couple of years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Where it was 1 minute melee.
The 1 minute melee where they gave it to Jotaro.
Yeah.
And at the time they made the whole thing. The whole premise is they don't know anything. They just kind of put them together, and they gave spoilers. By the way, spoilers. They gave that victory to Jotaro and the 1 minute melee. But then they came back and they made the official death battle, and they gave it to Kenshiro. And when you actually look at the lores and the characters, Kenshiro should have won all the way, through and through. because when you actually watch Fist of the North Star, the only thing that a stand would have over a physical martial artist is that obviously you can use the stand at a distance. You don't need to be up close and personal. But,
Right.
you know, a character like Star Platinum, or a stand, I should say, is physical based. So all Kenshiro needs to do is close the gap. One touch on Jotaro, it's a wrap. And, you know, even then, in the later series or the later story arcs of Fist of the North Star, Kenshiro magically gains projectiles. Like, he can send out air blades and stuff like that, and he can cross huge distances in like split seconds. So closing the gap is not a problem for Kenshiro. You know, the man blew up a tank just by punching it really hard. You know, Kenshiro, there's not a whole lot that Kenshiro can't do. And I one of the reasons why I love Fist of the North Star, and I give it a pass over a lot of the tropes that Shonen Jump series don't do, is, and I say this to everybody, Fist of the North Star literally opens with Hokuto no Ken is an undefeatable 2,000-year-old martial arts technique. It tells you the gimmick right out the gate. It's not like Dragon Ball where Goku loses, he gets the MacGuffin, he comes back and he wins. Or Naruto, he goes out, gets the MacGuffin, comes back and wins. Or Ichigo from Bleach, goes out, gets the Deus Ex Machina, believes in the power of love and friendship, and wins the day. It's like, that's dumb. That's just dumb. It's like, you're telling me that there's no limitations, everyone is Superman, they just need to think really hard, and they'll be able to win the day. That's silly, and it's Shonen Jump, it's the trope.
Yeah, well,
but
Fist of the North Star tells you right there. He can't lose.
Right out the gate, it tells you. Undefeatable. And so it's all like, well, why did he punch a tank? Hokuto no Ken is an undefeatable 2,000-year-old martial arts technique. Well, how was he able to beat Shin? Shin beat him the first time. Hokuto no Ken is a 2,000-year-old undefeatable technique. How is he able to beat... what's his face? Oh, man, I'm getting my nose. Was it Toki... Ray...
You talking about Souther?
Souther.
Souther.
Yeah. Oh man, it's like, yeah, it's just all over the place. It's straight up tells you the gimmick. Why can't he lose? Because it's an undefeatable martial arts technique. So I think that they gave themselves an out while explaining the gimmick of the show. So that's why Kenshiro can do so many fantastic things. Absolutely, he deserved the win over Jotaro. I'm sorry, all you JoJo kids. I love you guys. But you got to respect your history. It's just the way it is. So
yeah, I remember watching the 1 Minute Melee because me and my cousin we did a reaction to that, and I was like, "There's no way that Kenshiro should have lost this.
Yeah, absolutely.
He should have won. They showed him punching Jotaro. I'm assuming they had the stand, like protecting him. But even still, I think I even read somewhere because I looked up a lot of his powers, because I read the manga, but I forgot a lot of it.
Fair enough.
I read one of his powers. He can actually put you into a world of nothingness where none of your abilities are able to be used.
Yes.
He could have just done that, and he wouldn't have been able to use the stand.
Yep.
And then that's nothing. Jotaro just... No, not Jotaro. Kenshiro, he is physical based. He just hits you in
anywhere.
A spot, and you just blow up.
Yep.
That's not a special ability. That's just what he does.
Yep.
There would have been no way for Jotaro to win this fight.
Yep. Yeah, it's sometimes they just get wrapped up in the hype, I feel, because, JoJo is hot, super hot right now.
Yeah.
And it's also more current than Fist of the North Star, so I think it's hugely hilarious that they're both going on right now, so you can watch JoJo and then immediately turn around and watch Fist of the North Star, and it's like, huh. But, when it comes to that fight, I'm obviously going to go Fist of the North Star, but, I love JoJo. Joseph Joestar, best Joseph, or best Joseph, best Joestar.
That's the old man, right?
That is the old man. And his voice actor passed away, too.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he was the one that passed away, last month, 2 months ago?
That's too bad. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, bro. You rest.
So let's see. That's everything you're watching. I think we overlap on a few of those. Goblin Slayer, Uza-Maid.
Yes.
Golden Kamuy.
Yes.
I'm also watching That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm up to episode 5 right now as of the recording on this show. I know 6 is out, so I'm going to probably go back and watch it, but I don't know. I'm not really feeling it.
No?
I'm not feeling it.
I've been enjoying it, but, I think it's mainly because a lot of these isekai series, it's just a main character gets put into another world and then they're overpowered.
Right.
Sure, he's overpowered,
right,
but he's a slime.
Yeah.
You don't really get a lot where they're a monster.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that he's a monster.
Yeah.
And he's in there, and he's getting all these new people around him.
Right.
And, I mean, he made friends with a dragon. A tsundere dragon.
Tsundere dragon, yes. Yes.
Which I thought was hilarious.
Yes. I didn't know. I didn't watch Overlord. I skipped Overlord.
I haven't seen Overlord either, so I'm with you on that one.
I felt that if people that really liked slime were probably fans from Overlord, because I know Overlord's gimmick was the guy was super overpowered, and he just like snaps his fingers and he just beats everybody that opposes him. So I figured that was the same audience that was liking slime, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard for me to really explain why I'm not really feeling it. Maybe I'm burnt out on isekais. Maybe I feel that shows like Konosuba just set the bar so high, and it was completely the opposite. They weren't powerful at all.
No,
they just kind of were huge dorks and just eked out a win just by sheer willpower.
I loved Konosuba. That was a great sequel.
It was so fantastic. It knew completely what was going on and how to work it. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm still gonna go back and watch Slime, and maybe I can change my mind, or maybe something happens. Someone is all like, I asked on my Facebook, I was like, why is the show so good? Someone said elves, and I was all like, well, truth be told, elves are fun, but I was kind of really feeling them goblin villagers, the female goblin. Don't tell Goblin Slayer.
There's some good-looking female goblins, all right.
Goblins had to work, and that's just my take. Elves are cool. Elves are great.
These are the goblins you want to protect.
Yes.
Just keep Goblin Slayer away from
them. Don't tell Goblin Slayer. No. Don't tell him about that village, please.
But I was also feeling the elves, too. I had already picked out my favorite one when I saw the first episode. I was like, I like the dark-skinned one.
Fair enough.
She's my favorite.
Fair enough.
She's mine.
Fair. It's all you. I'm not going to fight you on that.
But yeah, I can kind of see how people wouldn't like the series.
Yeah.
Because I think it's, again, you got a dude just for some reason just ended up getting stabbed.
Right.
The dude was just running down the street and stabbed him.
Yeah. Yeah.
As he was protecting his Kohei.
Yeah.
And then the guy runs off.
Yeah.
It's like, even I was like, what the heck? Nobody's even going to try to grab the dude? He dropped his knife.
Yeah.
And then he gets all these special abilities as he's getting put into this world. Oh,
yeah.
It's so cold. Oh, well, freeze resistance.
Right.
I'm feeling hot. Oh, well, you're heat resistant now.
Yeah.
You got all these new abilities just because you said what you were feeling as you were getting put into this world. And then you got a super ultra powered one where it's like, oh, well, I can absorb anything and learn what it can do, and I can do it now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could see how people couldn't like it. But I don't know. I enjoy it. I just like it because it's funny.
Yeah.
The animation is pretty good. And I also like how it's going to be 24 episodes.
Oh yeah.
It's one of the few I've seen this season that's going to be 24 episodes.
Well,
so, and I was getting because they show him the theme. They show him as a human.
Right.
He can change his form to a human. I was like, when's he going to get to that? Isn't there only 12 episodes this season?
Yeah, I was kind of in the same boat too. It's so funny enough. Slime has actually been recommended to me by Amazon when I'm doing like my shopping and I pick up like mangas from Amazon. It's always one of those recommended picks, and I was all like, that time I got reincarnated into a slime. I'm like, I'll pass. But and then the anime is now here, and I'm like, I mean, I still see it pop up on my, recommended shows, especially since it's so popular.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, going back to the Crunchyroll map thing, the only show that's behind Goblin Slayer is actually Slime.
Yeah.
Reincarnated as a slime is right behind Goblin Slayer. So it's got cute designs, and yes, it does have good anime. Like I said, everything is lined up to make it great. I'm just not feeling it, and I can't really put my finger on why. And I don't know, Like I said, I'm still gonna keep watching it. I'm gonna
maybe something will catch your interest.
Maybe when they make the transformation, maybe when slime gets the physical form, maybe it'll start picking up. I'm sure that again, if anyone is gonna probably get offended or try to sell me on it, well, I'll hear all about it. I'm sure, and I encourage it too. If you guys know something that might sell me on it, I say please let me know. I'm open to commentary.
Another one that I'm watching, Tonari no Kyuketsuki-san.
Okay.
It's about a girl who is like, she really loves dolls, and she hears a story about this doll girl in the forest.
Okay.
So she goes looking for her.
Okay.
And she ends up finding a vampire.
Huh.
And she ends up starting living with her and starts... It's like a moe, slice of life type of anime with a vampire girl.
Okay.
I was reading the manga for that, so I was like, let me check out the anime, because it's kind of cute. That's basically all you're getting.
Got it.
You got like cute stuff.
Got it.
So I'm not expecting great things from it.
Okay.
But if you're just looking for something cute and fun to watch, then you could check it out.
Okay.
Gaikotsu Shoten Honda-san.
I've heard about that.
About the skeleton dude working at a manga shop.
Oh, yes. Yes. Honda.
Which they tell you in the second episode is actually based off of an actual guy's experience working at a manga shop.
Yes.
Which I really enjoyed because he's just putting it all into manga, or in this case, anime form.
Yes.
So you're actually learning how a manga shop operates and works in a comedic way.
Yes. So I'm caught up on that, and not only was it fun to see, so I've been to Japan a couple of times, once or twice. So, and going into the bookstores, they're actually so organized and so clean. It's literally a Japanese version of our old Borders and Walden Books, if anyone remembers those guys.
I miss those.
Oh yeah, rest in peace. But they're super organized, but they're also so small, just because most stores in Japan are consolidated just because of the space issue they have. But they're so organized, so neatly run, and everything is just, it's stacked up, everything is laid out. How they depict it in the show is very accurate. But I also liked Honda-san because I used to work retail. So Roman knows that I used to work at GameStop and all of that.
I would go in there once in a while and see you and be like, oh.
Yes.
And then I'd be like, oh, I'm getting the Dragon Ball game. And you're like, sorry.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. And so when Honda-san actually goes into issues talking about customer service and retail, I find myself nodding and sighing and just connecting because, yes, in the most recent episode, he actually went to customer service training.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, dear Madoka. I remember doing that when I used to work at GameStop. Customer service training, and they would tell you these ridiculous things. You would go through the role-playing, and it's not that it's a bad thing, because when these customers keep you in business, you want to keep them happy. You have to not drive them away. I get that from a business standpoint. Doesn't mean it's any less asinine.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's any less annoying. And you really do. The role playing is important too, because you can never tell what a customer is going to come with. Yeah, most of the time it's just the guy's like, hey, I want to buy this. Cool, here you go. Have a good one. Yeah, thanks a lot. Boom, that's the end.
Yeah.
But once in a while, you do get a customer who needs a little bit more finesse, a little bit more time. And again, the customer service issue or element, I should say, with Honda-san, I really liked it. I connected with it, and it's funny. Right out the gate, I think that them putting the Fujoshis in the first episode.
Oh, that was great.
I always say I'm waging a constant war against Fujoshis in real life. They drive me crazy. They are literally the Lex Luthor to my Superman, the Joker to my Batman, the Magneto to my X-Men. It's the Fujoshis. Oh, Madoka bless him. So I think that by putting them on full blast in the first episode, I think that is absolutely the way to get me to watch your show, is make fun of Fujoshis. So, good call on Honda-san. And did you see a couple of them actually this past Halloween? So, like last week, 2 weeks ago, like the Kinokuniya here in San Francisco actually cosplayed them.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they actually, if you go to Kinokuniya's Facebook page, they actually said this was our Halloween costume, and they're all like different characters from Honda-san.
Oh man, so like what was one wearing like a
one was wearing the skull mask, the other was like wearing the bunny. I don't recall if anyone did the paper bag, but yeah. And then same thing with Kinokuniya in New York. They also did Honda-san.
They did the same thing?
They also did Honda-san for Halloween.
I respect that store a whole lot more now.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a great play. That's another one we're on the same page with.
I totally get the customer service, because I used to work at KB Toys.
Oh yes,
that was horrible with the customer service. You go in there, you think, okay, well the kids are going to be the worst thing you deal with. No, it's the parents. The parents are the worst people you're going to deal with in a toy store.
Yeah.
And the whole customer service thing, we would have to do training as well, but ours would be video.
Yeah.
There would never be anybody actually like, this is what you do. It's always some stupid video from like the 70s.
Yeah, it's all outdated. They have shoulder pads and poofy hair from the 80s.
Yeah, and I'm just like, this has... I mean, sure, it's kind of relevant, but you couldn't update this a little bit?
Yeah, right? They're all selling them like Cabbage Patch dolls.
Yeah, and I just love the way they go about the whole, like you said, the customer service aspect.
Yeah.
And the way they deal with customers and with the training. Yeah. And I just love seeing how the whole industry for the manga stores work.
Yeah.
Because I did watch another one that dealt with a manga shop. Hanzo or something. I forget the name of it. Give me a second.
Yeah.
I got that here
Yeah,
somewhere.
okay. Yeah.
I think it's in this one. Sorry, guys. Oh, Denkigai no Hanya-san.
Okay.
That dealt with a manga shop as well, but I don't think it was as accurate.
Got it.
Still really good.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm with you on the on that one as far as customer service.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another one I'm watching that I don't really think a whole lot of people are watching either, because again, I only get like 12 views, is Hinamaru Sumo.
Oh, that's the sumo show.
Yes.
Yes, I haven't seen it, so I'm probably outside of those 12 people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen it definitely pop up on Crunchyroll for sure.
I'm going to say it's fun.
Okay.
I did not think I would ever watch a show about sumo wrestling. And I'm not going to lie, none of the people in this show look like they should be sumo wrestlers.
Huh.
Because they're all muscular.
Right.
And my typical, like, view of a sumo wrestler is a bigger guy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure there are muscular sumo wrestlers out there.
Yeah.
But when I think sumo wrestler, I think the big dude who's going to maul you over out of the ring.
Yeah, his job.
Yeah. But none of them are like that, except for one. And I'm just like, none of these people look like sumo wrestlers. And the guy that wants to be like the Yokozuna, he's way too short, apparently, to even get into the pros. So he's just like going off of his, what do you call it? Aspirations. Like, he really wants to be a Yokozuna.
Right.
But he knows he can't be a pro, so it's like, I gotta win the high school thing so that I can get into this pro circuit right here, so that I can at least have a shot in an actual event.
So it's the whole dramatic slow down, and he's doing the deep analysis into the moves and of sumo. And
yeah, exactly. And he's got a pretty good group. One dude wants to be the #1 MMA fighter.
Okay.
And he figures, if I join sumo after seeing how you guys plant yourselves on the ground, I'll have a big advantage in an actual fight.
Okay.
So he's joining sumo to get the skills from that to transfer over to MMA.
Okay.
You got just some thug.
Of course.
That they beat up in the first episode.
And now he becomes their friend.
Actually, I can't even say they beat him up. In fact, he told the thug to punch him for 5 minutes, and if he fell to the ground, then they would leave the gym.
Yeah.
And he actually went for like 10, and nothing happened. And then I think he hits him or something.
Okay.
Just so you know, I'm bad with names, and I'm bad with actually remembering certain things.
No problem.
My viewers already know this.
That's fair.
But just so you know.
That's fair.
But it is a... I'm also going to say it has possibly my favorite opening theme song.
Okay.
Just by how catchy it is.
Okay.
But so far, it is a really good anime. And I would not be surprised if it is one of those shows that nobody's really watching.
Yeah.
Just because it's sumo and nobody really,
Yeah.
as far as I know, watches sumo.
Yeah.
But still, worth a watch.
Yeah.
So if you ever get the opportunity, check it out.
I'll probably start with your video. I'll make you 13 views. And we'll go from there.
But yeah, that is everything that I'm watching. I had some more, but I put them on hold because I have too much going.
Yeah.
Like Radiant and this Yuri anime.
I've heard about the Yuri show. The Yuri show, that because Citrus kicked everything off.
Yeah.
I saw that and it seemed to be
This
doing
one.
fairly well. Yeah.
Yagate Kimi ni Naru.
Yeah.
That one I was watching too, and I put that on hold.
Yeah.
But I am picking it back up.
Yeah, there are definitely shows too that I have on my list I haven't started yet. Hopefully in the next week or two, like Bunny Senpai, Conception. There was another one too. Oh, Senran Kagura, because I'm a huge Senran Kagura guy, and I know it's the anime version of Shinobi Versus. So, and I just haven't gotten to it. They claim it's on Crunchyroll, but I haven't even looked that hard into it. The only one that I meant to mention, I forgot, was Gridman, SSSS Gridman. That was another one, too, where thanks to the meme pages talking about Rika's thighs, that was the only reason why I started watching the show. And then it's kind of like, okay, so it's anime Ultraman. All right.
I'm going to have to pick that up, too.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't understand the motivations of the main bad girl. I don't really get why she's so angry, but I'm sure that eventually we'll discover what's going on. But yeah, if you like Sentai, Ultraman, Kamen Rider, it's anime version of that. I believe it's also Studio Trigger. I'm not the biggest Studio Trigger guy. I should make that abundantly clear. I'm not too big. I didn't like Kill la Kill.
Yeah, we're gonna agree on this one. I'm not a huge Trigger fan.
Oh, excellent.
I tried watching Kill la Kill. I didn't get that far into it.
Yeah.
I tried watching Gurren Lagann. I got like 12 episodes in.
Yeah.
It's like I get into the shows, and then like after a while, I'm like, okay, I'm pretty much done with this.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people were recommending Darling in the Franxx.
Okay.
And that's Trigger as well.
Yes.
And I kind of feel like it's just going to be the same thing. I'm still going to try checking it out.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's just going to be, I'm going to get a certain point and be like, okay, I'm kind of done with this show.
Yeah. So that actually should have been something from last season.
Yeah, it should have been.
Real brief. Franxx, I had fun with Franxx. I liked Franxx. Same deal. It was Studio Trigger, but I wrote this on my Facebook, like after the show kind of started. They did it in collaboration with A1 Pictures. And so I felt that the only reason why Franxx was so good was because A1 Pictures kind of roped Studio Trigger in. When it was like Studio Trigger was trying to go full Studio Trigger, A1 was kind of like, no, come back. Get over here.
We got to stay on course.
Yeah,
don't do your normal stuff.
No. So,
did they also do Penny and Stocking?
When they were under Gainax, yes.
When they were under Gainax.
Yeah, when they were under Gainax.
I did like Panty and Stocking.
Yeah, Panty and Stocking was fantastic. Again, I claim that was under Gainax, so I give that one to Gainax, even though that was what eventually became Studio Trigger.
Okay.
But Gridman is kind of like its own thing, so they're avoiding all the raunchy, unnecessary things that Studio Trigger tends to do. It's their style. Like the main character, the main dude, he's not a screaming hot-blooded character. So, what a twist.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that one too. It's kind of like, and I know that it's always been on the top 10 list ever since they started for this season, but for me, I think it's fairly middle of the road. It's not the best, it's not the worst, but it's definitely worth a watch. The female characters at least are cute, good designs.
I know I'm definitely into kaiju and like
So
I think it'd be something I'd enjoy.
Yes. Oh, and they straight call them kaiju too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they straight call them kaiju.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're not even playing around.
So anybody who knows, kaiju is like big giant monster.
Yeah, the Godzillas.
Mothra,
Mecha
Ghidorah,
yeah.
all that. Did not originate from Pacific Rim.
Yes. Please remember
that is not a term that started with Pacific Rim.
Please remember that. That's very important.
So yeah, that is one I have to check out.
Yeah,
I do. I'm not going to lie. I'm a thigh guy in anime.
Fair enough.
So she'll probably be my waifu too.
Fair.
She is a little flat for me, but
the trade-off.
I mean, I will stick with a character if she has good thighs.
That's fair. If you wanted the other one, if you wanted a plot and Oppa, you have to go with the other character, Akane.
Although I will say Elf is an exception to that rule.
Yeah, that's fair.
She doesn't really have big thighs. She doesn't really have anything going up top. But
she has big personality.
Yeah,
and a bigger heart, and that's what counts.
That's where she gets me.
So, I think that at least for this session, I think that more than wraps up current anime. Like I said, I'll probably at a future recording touch on the other shows I didn't really discuss, like Bunny Senpai and Conception. But my plan is to just sit down and knock them out because I haven't even started them, so I want to knock them out. On a personal note, I feel that it's easier to catch up and stay on top of the shows than to just kind of watch them and try to marathon them. So I try to stay on top of them as they come out week to week.
Yeah. I think that's also a good thing for me, waiting for some shows to finish.
Yeah.
Because I tell my viewers,
yeah,
if I'm picking up a show, if I don't like it after 3 or 4 episodes, I'm going to drop it.
That's fair.
But if I'm starting a show that's already aired and it's over, I'm just going to finish it because everything's out. I don't have to wait every week.
It's true.
So even if I don't like the show, I'll finish it.
Fair.
And I'll just give you a review like, I did not like this at all.
Right.
Or something like that.
Right.
So for those of you who are waiting for certain shows, some of them are just going to be waited till after they're over.
Yeah, absolutely.
So cons. You went to quite a few.
Yeah. So I'll talk about this real quick, and I might expand on this on a future one because we're already approaching a long time. So in a nutshell, I went to Japan last month, and it was my second time this year because I went in the beginning of the year. I went to Evo Japan.
Oh,
and it was really interesting to see what was popular on the shelves. Obviously, there's a lot of Fate Grand Order. Fate, maybe we'll touch on that.
I think Fate pretty much takes up a lot of cons.
Yeah, Fate is a huge thing.
A huge universe for it, so...
Yeah.
And all the fan art. And,
yeah. We did stop off at the Pokemon Center around the Ikebukuro area, and that was all like... was it Sun and Moon?
Yeah,
so there was
the
a lot of that.
Series that was out.
They also had a lot of the Halloween designs, so there was a lot of Halloween costumes and Pikachu in a tuxedo and a top hat like he's a magician.
Okay.
So there was a lot of that stuff going on. What else? I am trying to think what was popular. Oh yeah, so there was a lot of advertising for the current shows. So I took some pictures. It was like, well, How Not to Summon a Demon Lord was still going because that was the last season.
Yeah.
I didn't finish that, so that's why I didn't really talk about it. But
I haven't even watched it yet.
Maybe for a future episode.
It's also an isekai, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So that'll be for a future episode.
Okay.
There was a new Tanya. If you haven't seen Yujo Senki, maybe that's another one. That'll be for another day too. Yujo Senki Tanya, Saga of Tanya the Evil. That was coming out. There was a really good-looking Venom art book that I saw that they were advertising, and I was like, huh. And I was like, oh yeah, maybe someday I'm gonna have to come and check that out. I'm just kind of going through my photos real quick, so that was
that's
the Venom
pretty
art
cool.
book. Yeah, so that one was pretty cool. And Venom had just come out the week before I went to Japan. So that was a whole deal, too. I was like, I gotta watch Venom. I'm not going to Japan unless I watch Venom. And so I watched Venom the week before. Yeah. It was pretty much all the stuff that was popular last season and the stuff that was going on. There was a Goblin Slayer had massive displays everywhere, go figure. And they had the light novel out, the manga was out, they had the posters for the anime, and this was like almost every bookshop was just like Goblin Slayer. So
makes sense.
Yeah. Wonder why it's number one.
Yeah.
So that was just getting blasted everywhere. Golden Kamui also had another strong showing, I feel. So Japan really loves that.
Well, it was the second season, and the first season did really well.
Yes.
I really enjoyed the first season.
Yes. I think it's been a slow burn so far in the second season, but I think it's just starting to pick up again.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get excited, and hopefully Golden Kamui starts panning out.
Yeah, the first episode I was like, what the heck is going on? It's just a catch-up episode on what everybody's doing.
Right.
And then it started getting good.
Right. But yeah, I think that the main reason why I went to Japan, too, was it was my friend's first time going to Japan ever. And so I was all like, oh yeah, let's do all the things. So we went to the Gundam statue as well over there at Odaiba, and then this is the Hello Kitty. I'll probably put these all up on my Facebook at some point. But yeah, there was the Hello Kitty mecha. Then we went to the Gundam store and all of that. What else? Tokyo Tower. We went to the Shonen Jump shop. That was fun.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's
the Pokemon Center.
Yeah, the Pokemon Center. So the Mew and Lucario.
Is that a Mega?
I think so.
Is that a Mega Evolution? Yeah, Mega Evolution.
So, yeah. And, I think that in regards to what I'm looking at next year, right now all I have planned is Fanime over here in San Jose and Evo in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I wanted to go to Fanime this year, but, things came up.
That's fair.
I had to cancel.
That's fair.
It sucked because I told people on the Discord, I'm going to go to Fanime, and then it never happened.
Well, next year.
Yeah, hopefully next year.
Next year.
But it might be a little difficult because, again, I'm moving. So
oh, yeah.
I'm going to have to actually get a room out there.
Yeah.
So I don't want to travel 2 hours to and from to get to Fanime every day.
That's understandable.
But
and it doesn't help either with their system making it always like the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Trying to get a hotel room. But, yeah.
There was another con that came, I think it was this weekend. Kara Expo or something like that.
Oh, really? Where was that at?
It was sponsored by Bushiroad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it was somewhere in like Newark area. So they had like a lot of Bang Dream stuff.
Right.
I'm a big Bang Dream fan.
Okay.
I just recently got into it thanks to the game.
Okay. Okay.
And I just finished. Spoilers for those who haven't. My video's not up yet, but I just finished recording the final episodes to the first season for that.
Okay.
So yeah, they had like a live concert for the voice actresses that play Poppin' Party. The main band were there. I think only three of them though.
Nice.
But still, that would have been awesome to go to. I would have had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah. I went to the New Japan Pro Show at Cow Palace.
A couple months ago,
and Bushiroad was a huge sponsor. And so my favorite wrestler of all time, Kenny Omega, it was so funny watching him in the commercials because he's such a dork, and he's just over there playing Bang Dream, and he's just like bonk. And so that's so funny. But yeah, no, I probably will touch on that in the video games thing, but I have so many mobile games that I don't even touch. Like I actually did download Bang Dream because of him, because of Kenny, and Azure Lane. I just haven't even opened. So I'm like, if one day I ever open them, I'm just going to have like a 3-hour update to probably download. So I'm looking forward to those.
Well, Bang Dream, yeah, it's just a rhythm game.
Yeah.
But they don't have just their original songs. They have covers to a lot of anime openings.
Oh, wow.
Like they got the Attack of Titan theme on there. They got Fua Fua Time from K-On! They also have the ending theme to K-On! Too.
Okay.
They have a lot of really good anime openings and endings that they have covers for.
That's
and
funny.
There's 5 different bands, so they all like distribute between them. Whoever's going to do the best job with each one, they give to them.
That's funny.
I think one of the most recent ones was they do have Redo from ReZero,
Nice.
which I really like. That's one of my favorites. They have the theme to what is that anime called with the manga artist that's in high school and the girl likes him. I cannot remember the name of this anime. That you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna realize I forget a lot of things.
Eromanga Sensei?
No, not Eromanga.
Okay.
It was a few years ago.
Okay.
It's a girl with red hair, has the the
Nozaki-kun?
Yes.
Okay.
Nozaki-kun.
Yeah. There you go.
There's just a lot of really good songs on there that I enjoy playing, and it keeps me coming back because they release them all the time, and every week they have a new event.
Nice.
Which keeps me coming back too, despite the fact that I can't get any of the event skins from the gacha.
Oh, gotcha.
But yeah, so I think that's pretty much it for cons, huh?
Yeah, video games.
Video games.
The video game segment.
I actually have not been able to play too many video games. The last game I was playing was Overwatch, and that was like 6 months ago.
Wow.
That is how long it has been since I've played a video game.
Well, and obviously you've discovered mobile games too.
Yes,
so.
that is like the only thing I'm able to. And I'm only playing really 2. The Memoria Phrase, Danmachi, which they have their Attack on Titan Danmachi crossover going.
Yeah.
I just finished the story for that. That was actually pretty decent.
Okay.
And I like how it's all voice acted.
Nice.
They actually have the voice actors doing their voices. And the other one I'm playing is Bang Dream.
Nice.
Which they also have the voice actors doing. Like, that's all voice as well.
Fully voiced. Nice.
You can opt to take the voices out. Like, if you just want to read what they're saying, you don't want to take up so much space.
Yeah.
You can choose to not have the voices downloaded.
That's not fun, though.
Yeah. I enjoy hearing the voices.
Yeah.
So those are the only 2 I'm playing right now. I do have more than that on my phone. Like, I have, let's see. I do have Fate Go.
Of course.
I have this one. I have Pokemon Go, of course.
Of course.
I have this one called Moe Ninja Girls.
Okay.
It is a visual novel.
Okay. I wonder what that's about.
Yeah. And I think they're up to like chapter 16 or something right now.
What? Was that based? Is it like a port of the Japanese version, or is it an original thing? Or
I think it's a port.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was big into visual novels at the time. So
Yeah,
I was like, I got to find something on my phone I can read.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
What else am I playing? Ishtaria. That's your typical like card type game. think what would be the equivalent to that I have on here? I don't have it on here anymore. Like Brave Frontier,
Okay.
or like Rage Bahamut when that was out.
Yes. Yes.
Think like that. It's a game like that.
Got it.
But I haven't played those in a while. Like every once in a while, I'll go on there and be like, okay, well, let me do something.
Yeah.
But for the most part, Memoria Frace and Bang Dream take up all my time.
Yeah, those are solid decisions. I saw the Danmachi thing, and I remember it was a big campaign before it started, and it seemed fun. I actually liked Danmachi as a show. You know, Hestia is adorable. But yeah, I don't know. I just focus on FGO, and I don't want to really get into any other mobile games or gacha hell, because it's like
I spend enough money on this game to move on to others. I can't spend any more money on other gachas.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what you're thinking, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I don't play Blaze Blue, Grand Blue Fantasy.
Oh, is that a mobile game?
Yeah. It's the guy, the artist from Final Fantasy Tactics.
Oh, he does that?
Yeah, he does the character designs. They also got him to do Nier Automata.
Okay.
So that was all him. But
Still need to finish that game.
Yeah.
Multiple times apparently to get the full effect.
Yeah, no, that was definitely like one of my game of the years from last year, and I actually beat it this year too. But I mean, yeah, obviously, Fate Grand Order has consumed my soul, which is funny because I'm not the biggest Fate person, and you would be surprised because you see how often I talk about it, or I should post about it, or I have merch from it and everything, but it's not my number one. I think that it's pretty decently written. It has fun characters and good designs. I think that it has all the elements of being a great everything. Anything it wants to be, I think they do pretty well at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely not a Fist of the North Star. It's not an Ace Attorney.
Well, I don't think you're ever going to get another Fist of the North Star.
No, the bar is set way too high.
Yeah.
Manly men beating each other up and then crying about it. Maybe if Fate had more of that, I'd be more into it. But I mean, it's fun, and so I remember when I was at KrakenCon, one of the localization guys, Albert, he was on the stage and he was doing his thing. And he said that was one of the big appeals of Fate Grand Order, is that it's literally a visual novel that you get for free. And he's right. You don't need to drop a dime into FGO to really enjoy it. You can just play the game. Yeah, you get some perks if you spend some money, but, the game is free. You can still basically play the game and enjoy it, everything about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and they're, they're really supporting it. I have issues with the fan base, which I feel that could be in a discussion all on its own. But overall, at least for this episode, I will say that I'm head deep into FGO, and for almost the last month and a half, maybe even 2 months, I've been on and off playing Persona 5. I know I'm at the end of the game for Persona 5, and I know it's been out for over a year now. But last month, I had pretty much something going on every weekend that just put a halt on me playing Persona 5. And so now that I'm catching up with life, catching up with anime, I'm getting ready to go back into Persona 5, and I'm just trying to knock it out. I'm just trying to just wrap it up, get it out of my system, finally say I'm done with it, I beat it, and all that. And I know that people have been ranting about it and raving about it. I actually liked Persona 3. Shin Megami Tensei. Persona 3 is still my favorite to date. But I respect P5. I think P5 did a lot of things right. I think it's better than 4, quite honestly. Better than 4, not better than 3. But I think it's definitely worth playing if you haven't done so. Worth the hype, absolutely. Is it the greatest game? Some people are saying it's the greatest game. I know Japan put out a poll where they said P5 was the greatest RPG of all time, and some people said that that's not accurate. It's just the most recent JRPG, so that's why people were just saying it's so great because it's the most recent one. But better than 6 or Chrono Trigger or stuff like that, no.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
No, but it was a good game, definitely a good game. And then after I beat P5, I'm going to go back, and I'm going to actually go back to Danganronpa. I actually played game number 1. I zerged 1. I zerged 2. I started playing Ultra Despair Girls, which was kind of a third-person shooter.
Okay.
And it was a side story to the main line Danganronpa games.
Right.
But I stopped playing it because I started watching the anime. And the anime, at least the second season of the anime, assumes you've already played the games, and they're making references to Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls. So I stopped watching the anime because I was like, okay, I gotta stop because now they're gonna spoil the game. And so I wanted to go back and beat the games before I go back and finish the anime.
Right.
So I just made a huge mess for myself, in other words. But I'm gonna go back, and after P5, I'm gonna zerg those out and just get those out of my system. And yes, I know that most people, after they say Danganronpa and Ace Attorney, they're going to be like, oh, you got to play 999. And I was like, yes, that's on my radar. I will get to 999 probably at some point. But
what's 999?
So 999 is another one of those visual novel kind of investigation type games that's in the same vein as Danganronpa and Ace Attorney.
Okay.
But this gimmick is that it's puzzle based. And it has multiple endings because, like, when Danganronpa, a character dies because it's part of the plot. In 999, if a character dies, it's kind of like Saw. So the decisions you make affects who lives, who dies, and you get multiple endings.
So if a character dies, it's your fault.
Yes. So you either can continue and see what happens in the story, or you can reload and try again.
It's like, man, I didn't want that guy to die.
Right.
All right, I'm going to start over.
Yes, don't kill your wife. And I believe there's 3 games on that, too, in the 999 series. There's, like, Virtue's Last Reward, 999, and there was another one, too. I can't recall. But
what system is this on?
I believe it was originally on, like, 3DS and Vita, and then they ported them over into PS4.
Okay.
So you can buy games 1 and 2 on, like, a 1 disc, and then the third game was made specifically for PS4.
Okay.
So someone is willing to let me check them out, so I'm probably going to take them up on that offer. But before I get that far, after Danganronpa, I'm playing Valkyria Chronicles 4 because I am a huge whore for Valky C. Valky C is probably another one of my franchises. Love it to death. Speaking about Fate Grand Order, Raita, who was the one who drew the character Sylvaria from Valkyria Chronicles, draws Minamoto no Raiko from Fate Grand Order. And if you know me, you know I love Mama Raiko. Probably one of my favorite characters. She came out of nowhere.
Is that the, like, kind of...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
She has tons of plot, but she has more love than plot because she's Mama. And so he drew the characters for Valkyria Chronicles. He's done it since the first Valky in 2008. So Raita has been around, and I love his artwork. I love the gameplay. Love the story. Have Valky 1, have Valky 2, have 4. I have a English patched version of Valky 3 for PSP. I was even on the verge of playing that before I went back and played 4, but my games are stacking themselves at this point. I'm just going to play part 4 and call it a day.
Okay.
But yeah, I got the collector's edition. It's sitting there just like, and I think it's making ugly, like mean mugging me every time I play P5 because it's like, why are you wasting your time with that piece of shit? You should be playing me.
Yeah.
And I know, and I look at Valkyria Chronicles 4 and I'm like, I'm sorry, I know, you're right, I should be playing you. But yeah, that's pretty much. I'm trying to get to it ASAP. But yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I have not played any of the Valkyria games.
Oh man.
I think I tried playing one on the PSP.
Okay.
But then I lost my PSP, or I should say, my cousin lost my PSP. I lent it to him plus my games, and then the next thing I know, oh, they're all gone. I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? They're all gone. And he's like, "Oh, it was in my our uncle's car, and it's no longer there." And he didn't want to take responsibility. So, yeah, I've not played any Persona game. So yeah, bad me.
Oh man,
it has been recommended that I play Persona 5.
Yes.
So
I
may start with that. It might be an easy one to pick up and get into.
You can borrow mine when I'm done.
Cool. I know there's a ton of games for that series though.
Yes.
Even a dancing game.
Yes.
Which I never played any dancing game before.
And that's actually getting a sequel, and it's coming out, I think, December 6th, I think.
Oh, sweet.
So right around the corner, part 2 is the sequel to the dancing game, which is a spin-off of the original, yes.
And Danganronpa, I have not played either. All these games you mentioned, other than Fate Grand Order,
Yes.
I have not played. And I am, like, showing my lack of game knowledge here. I have not played any of those.
You know, it's kind of part and parcel of being a giant weeb, is playing all these weeb games while you're watching your weeb anime.
I always find myself gravitating towards the visual novels. Like, I always go towards that kind of thing.
That's fair.
And it's kind of hard to find a good one.
Yeah. Sometimes, story is better than gameplay, so,
Yeah. I should say it's kind of hard to find a good one that does not have any hentai in it.
Yeah, true.
Even Fate is a hentai, right?
It started as an eroge,
Yeah.
back when it first came out, because they were trying to look for a gimmick to make them stand out from, like you said, all the other visual novels that existed, and so they were like, what if we gender bend King Arthur? And they were like, okay, now you can bang her. It's like, all right, done, let's make it happen. And
there it is.
A franchise was born.
Yeah. But I'm not going to lie, I have played some of those eroge games. You kind of have to when you got to find a good one.
That's fair. Yeah, you'll never know until you try it.
Yeah. And some of them have been pretty good. I'm not going to lie. And some of them are just are just dirty.
Yeah. I only play them for the story.
Yeah, exactly. I love the plot in this one.
Yes, there's a lot of character development.
But I do want to play a lot more of these like anime style games. Like the last one that I really played was One Piece, the Dynasty Warrior style one,
Yes.
number 3. I played that one.
Yes.
The Fist of the North Star Dynasty Warriors game. I played that one. I think that's about it.
Yeah.
I am way behind on these games.
Which is funny that you mentioned some of those, because next week is Black Friday, is Thanksgiving, and then Black Friday for us here in America. And so I actually had to cancel a couple of my games because I was going to Japan, and so I was like, oh, let me free up some funds. And so I'm actually going to pick up Fist of the North Star, which was done by the guys that did the Yakuza franchise. I'm not sure if you know those guys.
I think I know.
So it's, open world, and it's, they're all the same voice actors from Yakuza are now doing Fist of the North Star guys.
Oh,
so I'm like,
really?
well, oh yeah, sign me up. It's Fist of the North Star running on the engine of Yakuza, so I was like, oh yeah, absolutely. So I'm really looking forward to that. I've been looking forward to that since they announced it, and then they said it's going to be localized at E3. So I was like, oh yeah, so I'm so looking forward to that. So hopefully I can pick that up or find it on Black Friday. Soul Calibur 6, that's another one that I see all your guys' created characters. You guys are making Fire Emblem characters and Fate characters, and you guys are going crazy, and they look fantastic.
They added, what's her name from Nier, didn't they? Nier Automata?
Yes, 2B. 2B is now DLC, which is funny because that's the first thing everyone made, was they went to create a character and made 2B, and now 2B is an official character.
Like you just waited a little bit.
You just would have waited.
Officially.
Instead of wasting all that time and create a character, just would have waited for DLC. You could, boom, you would have got it. So, speaking of thighs.
Yes.
So, yeah, Soul Calibur 6, and it looks like a faster version of Soul Calibur 2, which I feel was undisputed the best Soul Calibur was 2. But it looks like it's going back to that style.
Was that the one that had like Link and the Nintendo one and Spawn and the Xbox?
PS2, yes.
I had the Nintendo one, so I had Link.
Yes.
I did like that one a lot.
That was kind of the pinnacle, the highest point. And so I watch a lot of streamers on Twitch and all that, like Maximilian and all those guys. Aris, they're all playing Soul Calibur every now and then, and I like it. I like it a lot. I've seen a couple of tournaments from like Wednesday Night Fights where they're doing Soul Calibur 6 as well, and yeah, it looks really, really good. I think they did a great job. So I'm looking forward to that. Dragon Quest XI, which is another one. I got into Dragon Quest around the DS games, but I mean, I know about them. I've been known. I know they kill Final Fantasy in Japan, and I'm glad to see that they're getting Steam here in America. And so it's another one too that I'm looking forward to. I don't know when the hell I'm ever going to play it.
That's another one I need to pick up on. I have not played any Dragon Quest. I think Dragon Warrior for the NES was a Dragon Quest game, right?
Yeah, they just changed it.
Only one that I played.
Yeah. Oh wow.
And that was we all know how long ago that was.
30 years.
Yeah.
Yep. And then, like you said, you mentioned Dynasty Warriors, and that's like the other game I had to skip out on was Warriors Orochi 4, which is, I say that it's basically Fate Grand Order. Literally the same games. They're just, Warriors Orochi 4 is Fate Grand Order with better music.
Oh,
so
nice.
it's you'll see a lot of the same characters running around. I'm a huge Musou guy. I love the Musou games. Warriors Orochi 3, I almost platinumed. I think I got 60% trophies because I loved it so much. So I have high expectations for Warriors Orochi 4. And I know everyone's all like, oh, well, where else can you go? And so you're like, oh, yeah, well, we're going to go fight Odin. So it's like, yeah, let's go take out the Norse mythology.
Yeah.
We're going to Asgard. Off.
Go to Asgard and take out Thor.
Yes. Gonna make Odin my so Warriors Orochi 4, definitely. And yeah, and I think that's going to carry me at least until the end of the year. And then, I don't know about you, but next to the year, for me, it's Devil May Cry 5 and Dead or Alive 6.
Those are both good.
Yeah,
I do like the Dead or Alive games.
Yes.
For obvious reasons.
Yes.
Devil May Cry. I like those. Dante, obviously. And bringing back the originals.
Yes.
So that just makes it so much better. Yes. I never played that other one. I heard a few people say it was good, but I won't know because I didn't play it. That one by, was it Ninja Theory?
Oh, the remake?
Yeah, the
reboot. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was never really big on Ninja Theory. I played Heavenly Sword way back when on PS3. And, it was alright, but, they tried to make it... I feel they tried to make it too edgy and too British, and they kind of missed the point of Devil May Cry and everything that makes Dante.
Yeah.
Dante, I feel, is best when he's more subtle in his douchebaggery. And what Ninja Theory did was just made him more blunt and in your face. And it's like, see, that's not the same effect, though. Dante's at his best when he's getting under your skin. Not like, like grabbing you by the collar and shaking you back and forth like, I'm a d***. Do you know I'm a d***? I'm a massive d***. It's like, no, that's not him. That's not how he is. It's like, no.
Could you kind of compare him to like a Deadpool or a Spider-Man?
Yeah, they tried to. They definitely tried to. They tried to make him more... Well, yeah, you're right. He's more subtle, like Spider-Man, more under his breath, like a Deadpool and a Spider-Man. Yeah. And I feel they just kind of missed the point with Ninja Theory's version.
They just made him too in your face.
Yeah, and it just kind of lost the magic that was Dante. But this one, Part 5, I think has all the makings of Return to Greatness. So
it's got everybody from 4, doesn't it? Like Nero.
Yeah, Nero's coming back. I'm not big on Nero, but they already rectified it by giving us Dante, so I'm not too worried.
I mean, if it's got Dante in it, then it's good.
Yeah.
Don't just give me Nero. I want Dante.
Yeah.
That's what everybody wants when they play a Devil May Cry game. They want Dante.
It's almost like what they do to Solid Snake and Metal Gear, where they keep insisting on giving Solid Snake playmates. And it's like, he's not Scooby-Doo where he needs a Scrappy Doo. He's doing perfectly fine on his own. I don't know why you keep thinking he needs friends. It's like, no, he doesn't. It's like, if he really needs friends, Dante has his brother Virgil. They can go and they can be buddies.
Yeah.
So,
I don't not trying to kill each other.
Right. It's like, I just don't get why they need playmates. But, that's just my take. So.
Yeah. I don't know. I just enjoy the series.
Absolutely.
And... No. But, yeah. When is that next year? Like, early next year?
Oh, I believe they said it was springtime.
Spring?
Yeah, I believe it's spring.
Okay, so around March or so?
Yeah, March, April.
Okay. By then, I should hopefully free up some time and I can actually play it.
Hopefully you'll be done with this current season's anime.
Yeah, hopefully. Oh, man, they got another season of Bang Dream coming out in January. So,
oh, boy.
Yeah. So I'm glad I finished this season. But, yeah, there's a lot of games that I want to pick up. Like, even, like God of War. I wanted to pick up that.
Yeah.
But, obviously, no time. So... couldn't play it.
Yeah.
Whenever Kingdom Hearts comes out, if it ever comes out.
Oh man.
Do they even have a release date yet?
Next year.
That's all they said.
That's all they've said.
Next year.
I don't recall off the top of my head because it's such a running joke. It's like, when's Kingdom Hearts coming out? Oh, when Final Fantasy 15 does. So I don't even know. I don't even know if you can trust the date they gave us. But I mean, it's definitely coming out because they took pre-orders. The Square Enix store is taking pre-orders. They had the big giant collector's edition with all the figurines in it and everything.
Yeah.
So it's definitely coming next year. And then they even showed the figurines. And watch, someone's going to come out and just be like, no, that's not true. There's this one game that also had a collector's edition and it never came out. So I'm sure someone's going to throw that in my face.
As long as they don't pull a Capcom with Marvel vs. Capcom. Was it 3?
Marvel Infinite.
Infinite?
Yeah.
Where they give you the Infinity Stones and it's not even stones. It's like plastic.
Yeah.
With lights underneath it.
Yeah.
It's like, what the heck?
Yeah.
I got this because I thought there was getting some really cool, like, collector's edition with the Infinity Stones, and this is what you give me.
Yeah.
As long as they don't pull that. But from what I've seen, Square Enix is really good with their special editions.
Yeah.
So it should be all right.
Yeah. Yeah, Dragon Quest XI, if I can pick it up, ideally I would like to get the collector's edition, but we'll see. We'll see what comes out. What I can find on Black Friday and Cyber Monday.
And I'm still waiting on that Final Fantasy VII remake.
Oh, man. Did you saw what happened with Square?
No, I didn't.
So Final Fantasy 15, they fired the director.
Oh, did
was
they?
it Hajime Tabata or whatever? And so they reported a 33 million yen loss.
Wow.
And so what's typical of the Japanese, how the Japanese devs like to do it, is when something goes south or something goes wrong, they usually like to find someone to make a scapegoat. They pin it all on this person and then they fire him in spectacular fashion. So this guy, they canceled all the future DLC for Final Fantasy 15. So if you got that, was it the King's Edition or whatever, the Royal King's Edition, you got a couple of the DLCs that had already come out, but it was like the Luna Freya DLC pack canceled, and whatever else that was coming out canceled. They said that this guy is, he sucks at his job, fired. But they also now they're saying that, at least he's saying that he was already intending to leave because he wants to go and do his own game and do his own project. So I don't know who to believe, really, that it's Square pinning it all on this guy being awful at his job, or if he's just like, I'm done with you guys and I want to go live my life. Kind of like Sakaguchi in that Mega 64 video.
Yeah.
Where Sakaguchi's like, finally I could go do my rap career. He might have been the same way. Maybe he just really wanted to go make a rhythm game. And so he's all like, fuck off, Square, I'm out, deuces.
Yeah.
But yeah. And like I said, they did that with Combo Fiend. Speaking of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, they were like, they hyped it up. Combo Fiend was the point man for all the publicity for Infinite.
Right.
And then when Infinite didn't go to expectations, they pinned it all on him, and next thing you know, he lost his job at Capcom. I think he got picked up somewhere else. I don't know where he's working at now. I think it's like Sony or something. So it's not like he didn't wander too far.
Yeah.
But it just seems like that's the Japanese style. They take all the negativity, they put it on this one guy, and they kick him out, and they're like, there goes all our drama because we got rid of the problem. And it's all like, not really. You just fired somebody. Doesn't mean that the problem is gone. It just means that you're down one staff member.
Yeah.
And obviously, again, that's two different companies doing the same technique. So whether it'll work for them, I don't know. I honestly thought that they were doing pretty good between 14, 15. I know Dissidia was kind of I got Dissidia, and I like Dissidia. I would really like to see them continue with their push to make it FGC friendly. I think that it would be nice to see it. I know that all these pro FGC people will probably be like, no, never. Like I said, it's wishful thinking on my end.
Yeah.
But I have grown up with Final Fantasy. I don't think there's a really bad Final Fantasy game in the whole 30-odd years of the game's life.
There's just some that aren't as good as the others.
Right. There's some that are better,
but they're
than
still
others.
good.
Yeah, they're pretty consistent. They're pretty solid. Can't go wrong with them as a franchise.
Even X2 was
even
pretty
X2,
good.
yes. Even X2, even 8.
I really liked 8. I don't know why people give it crap, but
it's because
whatever.
it was all a dream. So, but yeah. So we'll see. Maybe they're killing Final Fantasy 15 officially, so they can start working on 16, or maybe they're going to shift all their resources to the 7 remake that we haven't seen in 3 years.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're going to focus on Kingdom Hearts 3 and zerg it out. Again, as of this recording, they showed Winnie the Pooh. That's been making the rounds.
Oh, well, they always have a Winnie the Pooh stage.
Yeah.
So if that wasn't in the game, I think people would be upset.
Yeah. Yeah, just like Olympus. Olympus. There's no Mount Olympus in Kingdom Hearts. It's not Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but yeah, we'll see what Square wants to do. Or what Square's thinking of. So, look forward to 2019.
Yeah, well, hopefully they don't just mess everything up.
Yeah.
That would just be a waste of some good games.
Right. Legacy down the drain.
Yeah. I think that pretty much covers everything, right?
Yeah, at least for this session. Like I said, I'm self-imposing myself some homework. I think that I need to go watch Bunny Senpai and a couple of those other shows. Gonna see what's up with these other games. And probably, I don't know, if when we do this again, I'll come back with more Fate information.
Yeah.
Because I know that we're getting some events. We're approaching our Christmas events and all of that. And yeah, maybe in a future show I'll dive more into my adventures with FGO, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. And just a heads up for everybody, this is going to be bi-weekly. This is not every week.
Yes.
So expect this in 2 weeks, the next episode.
Yes.
So by then we should have some more, a pretty good amount of content to go over.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up everything for this session. I think it was a pretty good first episode.
Yeah.
Got a lot of discussion going.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll get some good discussion from the listeners.
Yes.
In the comments.
Yes, absolutely. I'm open to feedback, and everyone, let's start the conversation. Whatever you agree, disagree, suggestions. If you have something, going from what has been said today, if you have anything that might branch off, or I'm more than willing to look into it. I think another thing too is we're gonna keep working on at least the Facebook page.
Yeah, we definitely got to revive that.
Yeah, I've been meaning to start posting some content on there. So if you like the page and you see there's going to be an explosion of posts, it's probably me. But yeah, I'm definitely good. Like I said, I have some homework I need to do over the next couple of weeks. So yeah, but overall, yeah, I think this was a good first episode. I actually had more fun than I thought this was going to be. So
oh yeah, that's good then.
yeah, I definitely think next time we'll keep this going.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so I hope you all enjoyed this. Yeah. Again, I'm Roman
Sano,
and we'll see you, or you'll hear us again in a couple of weeks.
Absolutely. Take care, guys. Thanks for listening.
Yep. Bye.